I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom. Well, hello, Bruce.
Hello, Donna.
How are you today?
I'm living another day in paradise, thank you. How about yourself?
You know what, Bruce? I think I'm living another day in paradise.
Woo!
I like that. I don't, I enjoy just being here with you and you and you and you, each and every one of you out there. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here now with us on our little show, Lyrical
Absolutely.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
It brings my heart joy. And I think just hearing your voice when I connect with you and you say that you're living another day in paradise, it just lights me up,
Well,
it
thank
really,
you.
really does.
Doing
Yeah.
the show brings me a lot of joy too. So I guess we can exchange that through the
Yay.
microphones. Yeah.
It reminds me of a song I remember from church. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where?
Oh,
Down
yeah.
in my heart. Where?
That's
And
really
then all of a
amazing.
sudden, all these songs started downloading in my head because there's
Yeah.
this one that I used to love, This Little Light of Mine. I'm gonna let
Oh,
it
yes.
shine.
Because what did a light like that do for the ships out there, out in that dark ocean? It helped
Mm-hmm.
guide them in, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What do we got today? We
Yeah.
got some very interesting. And quickly, before we get into that, make sure if you guys can out there that are listening, just go ahead and let us know like what you think, how you like the song. Maybe there's something that you thought of when you were hearing us talk about it, and you're like, I didn't hear you talk about this. What do you think of this? Please let us know in your comments wherever you can, or in your email, or whatever you want. Please do. We love to hear from you.
Oh, yes. Yes, we definitely do. And remember, not only that, but we have a gift. We have gifts for you.
Yes, we do.
Because you can find us on YouTube, on Amazon, on Spotify. There's
Yeah.
so many different places to find us. And if you go on Spotify, there is something else waiting there for you. And
A
it is,
playlist.
it
I'm
is a
sorry, I jumped in.
playlist
I
of the
couldn't control
song. Thank you,
myself.
Bruce. I was
Yeah.
waiting. It's a playlist of the
Yeah.
songs that we have presented to you.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy really, you know, taking the time to listen because it does. It stirs those memories of,
It does.
a little golden nugget that I discovered in a song, as I
Yes.
was sharing with you what is coming through for me, or a
Oh, yeah.
golden nugget from you, what was coming through from you.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, it's listening. So, Lyrical Wisdom Songs on Spotify. If you
Yes.
just type in the search bar, when you type in Lyrical Wisdom, our podcast will pop up, and then just put the word songs in, and you will see our Lyrical Wisdom song playlist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
And you are being guided just like that light guides those
mhm.
ships in from the dark ocean into being safe. And which reminds me, we have a song today that we're going to do.
Oh yes, Bruce. And it's a beautiful song. This is a new song by Stevie Nicks, and she came out with a song in 2024, and
Wow.
that is what we're going to present to you today. The Lighthouse by Stevie Nicks. I have my scars, you have yours. Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul, they'll take your power. Don't close your eyes and hope for the best. The dark is out there, the light is going fast. Until the final hours, your life's forever changed, and all the rights that you had yesterday are taken away. And now you're afraid. You should be afraid, because everything I fought for long ago in a dream is gone. Someone said the dream is not over. The dream has just begun. Or is it a nightmare? Is it a lasting scar? It is, unless you save it. And that's that. Unless you stand up and take it back, and take it back. I have my scars. You have yours. Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it all alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul, they'll take your power, unless you stand up and take it back. Try to see the future and get mad. It's slipping through your fingers. You don't have what you had. You don't have much time to get it back. I want to be the lighthouse. Bring all of you together. Bring it out in a song. Bring it out in stormy weather. Tell them the story. I want to teach 'em to fight. I want to tell 'em this has happened before. Don't let it happen again. I have my scars. You have yours. Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it all alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul. They'll take your power unless you save it. And that's that. Unless you stand up and take it back. Try to see the future and get mad. It's slipping through your fingers. You don't have what you had. You don't have much time. You've got to get in the game. You got to learn how to play. You got to make a change. You got to do it today. In the midnight hour, they'll slam the door, make you forget what you were fighting for. Put you back in your place, they'll shut you down. You better learn how to fight. You better say it out loud. That was a very interesting song.
Yes. Yes.
You,
And I sorry to jump in on you there. I couldn't wait. It really has a lot to it. Very, very
oh, it
deep.
does. And you know, what is most fascinating is that
The title of the song is only mentioned one time, just
Yeah.
once,
Yeah. That is
which,
unusual. A lot of songs mention it at least one more or two more times, that I've noticed. There's a
right,
lot of
that's how
mention
they
of,
find the title is it's part of the
yeah,
chorus or, but
yeah,
this, I think the power in the lighthouse comes through with just the title of the song being The Lighthouse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like that because it is, I think, its own lighthouse. The lyrics of this
Right.
song
Yes.
are a um that's what they are. They are a guiding light to bring in people to a place of, I think, understanding in a way. And so I think that that's really what I want to say trying to do, but I don't want to say trying to do because I don't think it's an effort. I think that the lyrics just naturally, the song just naturally kind of guides a person that way, like a lighthouse would, a ship from the ocean.
Right. That is the definition of lighthouse.
Yeah.
It's something that shines away.
Yeah.
And it may not, I mean, it shines away for whomever is witnessing the light
Yeah.
because everybody will see the light shining in a different way. In other words,
Absolutely.
if one ship is coming in from the east, that path will be lit differently than the ship that is coming in from the west.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think that is so beautiful that that's what Stevie is letting us all know. I have my scars.
Yeah.
You have yours. Don't let them take your power.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the past is the past.
Yeah,
The
that
things that
is,
have happened they have happened, and now we are past them. Now we are moved on. And that's part of, I know that we sometimes refer to shadow work like that, and working on things that have traumatized in the past. And that is important to recover from that so that then we can move on, because then you can put it, you know you can move on fresh and new. I didn't know how else to say that. But it really kind of, I think, is something important to kind of touch base with at the beginning of the song. Like, hey, I know I have my scars, you have yours. Okay, we know that. Now let's move past that. We've acknowledged that that exists, but we don't have to. That isn't something that we need to make our hill to die on, if you will, you know. So I think it's really interesting that, then she really says, don't let them take your power, because, yeah, okay, you have those things. And like,
yes.
that's not like, it's not a critical thing. It's just, okay, those are there. It's like, oh, yeah, there's a car parked on the street outside. Okay, yeah. There's a bird in a tree somewhere on a branch. Okay, yeah. The wind is blowing somewhere. Yeah, okay. It's kind of that kind of thing. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, we got our scars. And, you know, and so, like, don't let them take your power because of whatever it is that is a reflection of like something maybe you did in the past. So what? Okay, yeah, that's there.
And I
And
think the beauty in these lyrics is that she then goes on to explain why. In other words, why you shouldn't let them take your power. In other words, what scars can do.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
as if she is shining a light upon the scars. In other words, she is being the lighthouse, which she says
yeah,
in this
yeah,
song. She says,
yeah,
I want to be the lighthouse.
yeah,
So for me, she is the lighthouse has shown that, shown. And look, I've
Mm-hmm.
got scars. I see you have yours. You've got
Yeah.
scars too.
Yeah.
Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul, they'll take your power.
Yeah.
So I think that is, like I said, she goes on to explain why. Why shouldn't you wallow in your sorrow or, stay angry at that person, you know, for it breaks my heart when I hear about people that don't talk to one another because they
Mm-hmm.
got angry years ago at
Yeah.
each other. And
Yeah.
as time moves forward, I think they kind of forget why they actually got mad. They
Yeah.
just know they're mad. So
Yeah.
they hold on to the madness,
Yeah.
that anger, which I believe she's talking about
Yes.
when she says they'll take your soul, they'll take your power.
I agree. I agree because that is where, that's where we can't let, I mean, I don't want to say this as such a kind of absolute, but I would just say that you are in control of what anybody thinks of you. And we create our own reality in that way. And we also, we create this image and we ask people to see us in certain ways. That's just we create it. And so um, you know, our soul is ours alone. And in this way, that is one thing that is very, very specific. If there is something that is repeated in this song, it is this reference to having your soul taken
Yeah, I
and
agree.
having your power taken in that way.
Right.
And so I think that that is something that is remarkable in that way, because I think that, in the next lyrics, don't close your eyes and hope for the best. Don't stick your head in the sand. And, they say that's what an ostrich would do, I guess. That was one of those things that was kind of joked about. Don't just close your eyes and hope for the best. The dark is out there. The light is going fast until the final hours. You're being kind of encouraged to see that something is speeding up here, you know, and
Mhm.
and you need to just be aware. And if you take a step back and think about it, that is one thing that I always think about this with certain insects that have a very short lifespan, or even animals that we think of having a very short lifespan, and some we think of having a very long lifespan. And it's only because we think of our own lifespan as being so long and we're so wonderful like that. And so, that's the thing. If we could identify with the time that those short lifespans are experiencing, then we could understand that, the light is going fast. This is all perspective. If you're the insect that lives for as long as you do, and then your life is a lot shorter than ours is, well, that life probably seems just as long as ours. So they're probably not experiencing a short life. They're actually experiencing a very long life because that's what they know. And so I believe that that's kind of what this could be referencing is, hey, be in the moment and
Mm.
understand this moment for exactly what it is, and be present, as is the very popular catchphrase, if you will, of the day. Be present in the here and now.
I also love the literal vision of what she is saying here because a real lighthouse, it is constantly spinning, it's turning. So the
Yeah.
light
Yeah.
shines and then it goes away.
Yeah.
And then it comes back and shines again. And then it disappears. So there's also this beautiful, the light is going fast. In other words, you have an opportunity in this moment. You see your scars, you see all that is there.
Yeah.
And if you choose to close your eyes and hope for the best, it's the light will move
Yeah.
And where are you going to be? You're just going to be back in the dark until
Right
the
in the
light
same place
comes
you,
around again.
yeah,
Right.
right in the same place you started at. And that,
Exactly.
and I think that's kind of the way that we can look at this. It's a way to say that, you've got to be able to see what's kind of what you're creating. What are you creating in this experience? What is your experience in this experience, and what are you creating, and what are you capable of seeing and feeling and sensing in this? And, see it. Don't close your eyes and just hope for the best, you know. Um,
Because
in some
dark is
song,
out there.
dark is out there, and even though dark is necessary, it's
Yeah,
still, and it isn't a bad thing. It's just that
it
it is
just
there, and
is.
yeah, it just is. And it's easier for us with what we have and the tools that we've been given to see in the light. And so if you're going to experience life, you've got to open your eyes. You've got to be able to, have some of these things. And not all of us need eyes to experience this life. It's just that for right now, here's this phrase: don't close your eyes and hope for the best. Let's live it. Let's have this
Mm.
experience, and know what we are having in this experience, because, you know, it goes on to talk about life's forever changed and
Yes, yeah.
all the
Because
rights
we're
that
in
you
the
had.
final hours.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Things are changing. And there's a bit of what I like to think of some pre kind of moments here that are foreshadowing, if you will. There's a little bit of foreshadowing to the next portion of the song.
Yeah,
And
because your
so,
life's forever changed and all your rights that you had yesterday were
yeah.
taken away. Yeah.
And, and I'm not a big fan of telling people that now you're afraid you should be. I don't think anybody should be afraid. But I think that in the way that this song is being written, it's being given to foreshadow, to say, hey, your rights are being taken away here in a way, whatever that might be, kind of uh, being it what it is, that, this is somewhere that they are going down this pathway of, you know this little bit of flavor to what I'm trying to tell you before we get a little farther into this. Um, so
Well, I think, and she's also being very blunt
yes, yes,
about
that's a very, yeah,
stating what happens when you allow those scars to take your power.
yeah,
That's, she's in the final hours, your life's forever changed.
yeah,
And when you allow something else to control you, like, that darkness or whatever you want to call it,
the fear.
you're, yes, yeah. Um, she's saying, you should be afraid
Yes,
because you no longer can be you.
yeah,
You've given yourself to this power of of being in control by darkness.
yes,
Whatever,
you've
however you define that, whatever
yeah,
your scar is.
or surrendering to the role rather than allowing
Yes.
yourself to surrender to
Yes.
your soul. And I
Yeah,
like to
you
use that because they
lose your
rhyme.
freedom. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah.
and it's, and then it's interesting that we're talking about these things that are kind of being taken away, but it's like it's a resignation. It's like a kind of a surrender in a way
Mm.
to something that I don't feel like we kind of earn, or we get to experience that refreshing surrender feeling when we finally give into something that we know is good. This is something where she's cautioning, don't give your power away and then surrender to that, because everything you fought for long ago in a dream is gone. And you could take that and say, okay, if you're going to surrender that, well, you know, this is what can possibly happen in that sense. You had a dream before a long time ago. Well, everything that helped you get to that point where you accomplished that or got into that dream and were able to experience that, well, now it's gone, and someone said the dream is not over. The dream has just begun, because there is that part of it too. Like there is this
Mm,
part, of is this now I've shifted, because the dream is still there. It's going to be sitting kind of like in a little sphere all by itself next to the current dream that you're in. And so I think that that's a part of what they're trying to say here is like, long ago in a dream, now that's gone. And somebody said that dream isn't over. Yeah, because it's sitting right there. You can just kind of go back to it whenever you want to. It's just that for right now, you've kind of surrendered to something else that seemed like, or was where you thought that you needed to be in this moment to experience all this,
right.
surrendering your power and giving up kind of the things that are yourself in that way, and I guess, a lot of people sometimes feel like they do that for a job. Maybe they do that for employment. Maybe they do that for a relationship. Maybe they do that for some sort of thing like that, where, by giving in or surrendering to that, you kind of surrender your own identity and you kind of give in and become somebody or something that you don't necessarily recognize maybe at some point in the future, or it is, or it just resonates with you and it harmonizes with who you are. And then that's a different story. But in some ways, I feel like that could be something that she is saying in this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because, like you said, for me, how you are in those relationships, in that job, in that role you are playing
Yeah.
came from your scars.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
other words,
Yeah.
how you react to people and how it does come from, if you don't allow certain people, it comes from a hurt you had in the past kind of thing.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of and that is to me, the understanding of allowing it to take your power, because
Yes.
then you mold yourself around that scar so that you can still be in the dream, doing whatever you're dreaming of, but you're not doing it to its fullest capacity
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the way that, because it's done in a state of something or someone that was not entirely you, because you
Yeah.
were still holding on to scars and things and what you were fighting for a long ago in a dream. You realize it's gone.
Yeah. It could
And
be
then
completely surrendered.
someone says is that, or tells you the dream's not over, it's just begun.
Yes.
Is this reality? Or
Yeah.
is that reality? And
Or
and
it,
that's when it begins, is it a nightmare?
yes.
Is it
Yeah.
a lasting scar? It is, unless you save it. And here it
Yeah.
is. This is the whole, I think the whole tune, the whole energy, the whole feeling of the song is being flipped right here,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she's got, she's explaining, look, I've been where you have. I know what you're going through,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
long ago I fought for, I I was in this, a nightmare, a lasting scar. Well, yeah, it's going to be that unless you save it.
Yeah. And to me, that's the thing is, if you, in some ways, somebody might think, well, unless you save it. Well, wait a minute. So you're saying I have to save that lasting scar? I have to save that nightmare? No, that's not it. Actually, it's quite the opposite, really. Because is it a nightmare? Is it a lasting scar? It is, unless you save it. And what they mean by saving it to me is that power, that inner thing, that thing that we have. And that's that. And that's why I believe she's saying, unless you save that, unless you
Right.
actually save what you have, you don't necessarily surrender it. You save it. You hold on to it. You hold on to your soul. You hold on to yourself. You hold on to your power. You hold on to these things that, she's saying, because everything I fought for long ago in a dream gone, these are the things, that I believe that they are saying, unless you save that, because, you know, that's that. And,
Oh,
that's, like, I believe that's why she says, and that's that. And it's, very matter of fact,
I kind of
know?
went, I, I kind of went the opposite with save. And this is what's fascinating because I thought save can mean to put aside for a rainy day, to put it in your
Yeah.
pocket,
Yeah.
to hold on to it, to save it.
Yeah.
And then there is such a beautiful spiritual aspect of being saved
Yeah.
because I was a lifeguard. So I know about saving someone because I used to
Oh,
teach how you never reach your hand out to save someone, because they can pull you under. So for
yeah.
me, when I read that word save, unless you save it, in other words, you take it out of the dark, you bring light to it, you rescue it. You do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a
Well,
different kind of save for
well, yeah,
me.
yeah.
And
Well,
that's
actually,
that.
I like that because, like, I kind of feel like that resonates with what I was saying before. Because then, you know, you don't lose it, you don't give it away, you save it, whether or
Right.
not it is
It
somewhere that,
becomes something different.
yeah, it becomes, and it stays a part of you. It stays there. It's
Right.
always there,
Right.
and that's why I like how it, she says, and then that's that. You're right. Unless you stand up and take it back in the sense of, unless this is the other way that you have to do that, unless you have to take it back.
Take
Um,
back your power.
yeah, yeah.
Right? I
And
mean, you
sometimes
take
you do,
yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
you
Yep.
have to give yourself that, because
Right.
otherwise you can actually take away your own power, and then of course she goes back to that very first line, I have my scars, you have yours, don't let them take your power. So I feel like, yes, that's exactly what, those references could be taken to, and again, don't leave it alone in the final hours, be with it, be present. And in a way, it's like you could put in the word otherwise, they'll take your soul, they'll take your power, meaning,
Mm-hmm.
those things, those, the scars and the, I have my scars, you have yours, don't let them take your power. They're going to be alone in those final hours. They are going to take your soul. They could take your power. They do have that ability without, us being able to shine our own light on that.
Bruce, it's interesting because I love how she's using the word scars because a scar is something that has healed. It is something that was, um, you know, a hurt, and
Yeah.
now it has been healed, and it leaves something behind. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah.
something that does stay with you.
Yeah.
And that's why she's saying, I have my scars, you have yours. And I love this is what I think being the lighthouse is all about is that don't let them take your power.
Yeah.
In other
Yeah.
words, what she's saying, yeah, you're gonna save unless you save it. So you can you can live in your scars with your scars and only show your scars. Be
Yeah.
scarred.
Yeah.
Or you can look at your scars and fill them up with light and love and appreciation for all that has been taught, which is, and then stand up and say, look at my scars and shine them to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is taking your power back.
Yes, it
That
is.
is taking your soul back. And actually, I think amplifying your power because
It
each and
does.
every scar is a new way to become who you are in a
Yeah.
more beautiful way in how you've healed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't agree more. And it just, it's like these things exist, but
Right.
they can either be appreciated and loved with, gratitude for what it was that we experienced and learned from that experience. We can have that, or we can have it like kind of be like a weight taking us farther down deep into the depths of a beautiful ocean, sure, but you know, we're going to finally reach the bottom at some point,
And I
and
think
then
yes, that's what's so beautiful about this song because in the beginning she said until the final hours.
yes,
In other words, she's reminding us, and it's funny because I'm remembering, Bruce, how we started this by talking about how a lot of people think that Stevie Nicks is old.
yeah,
She's from the past, but yet she's coming back in
oh yeah,
2024 as a lighthouse
as
with
a
these
lighthouse, very,
lyrics
yeah, very
saying,
relevant.
unless you stand up and take it back, try to see the future and get mad. It's slipping through your fingers. You don't have what you had. And this
Yeah,
is so it's it's just truth, Bruce, right?
yeah,
I mean, the
yeah, and
older we get, we
yeah,
don't,
you don't have much time to get it
it
back.
slips through our fingers.
Everything starts to move faster the older you get. It's kind of a common thing if when you think about it. And I know time is our own construct. However, it does remind me that, that's what she is saying is like experience this now, live in this moment, be present, and enjoy what you have. Enjoy all of these things happening all at once in your existence, and that is how you can take back and give yourself your own future vision by being able to see what tomorrow is going to look like. Because if it feels so good today, like it is, well, then what do you think tomorrow is going to be? I think it's kind of a very that's some people might think that's very simplistic, but I really do feel like that, and sometimes, like you'll notice this in different contests that sometimes the competitors will take on a kind of an air of being mad, to try to accomplish their goal. And
Mm-hmm.
and it is to fire themselves up, if you will, and to get them motivated to get through what they want to get through because they're trying not to let it slip through their fingers.
Yeah.
They want to keep that thing. They want to hang on to it, or they want to get it, and they don't want it to be like sand that you pick up on the beach with your fingers open, or, if you're trying to scoop sugar with a fork, they don't want it to be like that. You would rather have it be the spoon. So you're holding all the sugar in your spoon, or, it's, they don't want it to slip through, and they feel that, in some sense there's that sense of urgency, feeling like there isn't much time, because usually in a contest there is a game clock, if you will.
Mm.
And so, we have these different sensations of it that we kind of look at where, okay, this kind of thing it's important, to be able to tap into that. And in some cases, I think that's what it is saying here too. It's like, okay, you know what? Stand up for yourself, give yourself that joy, and
Yeah.
don't let yourself miss it. And you don't have to like get mad at yourself. Like, we don't like encourage rage. Okay. But I'm just saying, like, you know, give yourself and be stubborn to give yourself so that you don't miss that opportunity as well. Because, like she says, you don't have much time to get it back, especially as you age.
Age. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna,
Life is short
yeah,
compared to who we really are as infinite beings.
it's
It
true.
really
Yeah,
is, yeah.
it's true.
And it's fascinating. Oh, what did you say? I went another place and lost what I was gonna say because it was like, oh, you're so right. Um, Try to see the future and get mad. Oh, I know what it was. It was when I was at the birth of my latest grandchild. Um, and I saw the birth And I realized, how beautiful it was and my experience of birth. And I got mad. I got mad because I felt like I had been robbed of the beautiful experience of birth.
Wow. Wow.
So I think that's what she's saying. Get
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
Look at
Well,
the
yeah.
future and get
Yeah.
mad. In other words, you deserve so much more.
Well, because
You, yeah.
we sometimes have to be a little bit more aggressive in our approach. And that is how we define it,
Mm-hmm.
and to allow ourselves to have these experiences and to live in whatever we want to live in. It just, sometimes we have to be a little more aggressive in our approach. We can't just sit back and, close our eyes and hope that some things come to us because yes, we can call it in, but there is no doubt that some of us are going to make a whole lot of effort to try to accomplish a goal. And then because of the fact that we are doing these things and we're open and we have our eyes open and we're loving ourselves, then yeah, it's going to call it into us. But if we keep our eyes closed and just assume that it's going to come to us just because we're kind of willing it, so in some cases that doesn't always give it enough inspiration and motivation to come our direction. It needs a little more push, it needs a little more pull.
It's,
So
yeah, she's making it sound urgent. And
yeah,
that's
oh
what
yeah,
you don't have much time to get it back.
yeah,
In other words, you got to start now. You got to,
you do.
and
And
she's done
wants
it.
yeah, she
I
wants to be
think.
the lighthouse. Yeah.
Yes, because
And
that's where it is. She comes in to say that.
yeah.
I want to
And
be the lighthouse. Bring all of you together. Bring it out in a song. Bring it out in stormy weather. Tell
yeah,
them the story.
yeah. And it's a, that's the thing about a storyteller
Mm,
is that they are truly community bringers togethers. You know, I don't know how else to say it. They
yeah.
are the community, the village, the bringers togethers, people's things. They bring people together, with storytelling. And it's important in those stories to convey messages and lessons. And that's how we learn. That's how a lot of people will learn and sometimes figure things out.
Yeah. I like that. She's just basically saying, I want to show you the way,
Yeah.
how all of you can come together, whether I do it in a song or, be a lighthouse in stormy weather.
Yeah. Just we're
You
getting together because
just
there's a
tell
bunch
them
of
a
rain outside.
story. Right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, right. I want to
Because,
teach them to fight.
yeah.
I want to tell them this has happened before.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah. And I love that because one of the things we have talked about is the fact that in certain cases, deja vu can be such a powerful thing because we all have that sense sometimes, and we've all been here before, and we've all done this before. And in some cases, how our experience unfolds is completely within our power. And so, we have been here before. We have done this before. We are repeating this again. you know, it's an ongoing process. And we will learn every single time. And so I like that her, saying it because there it is, this has happened before. Don't let it happen again because, you have the power. Take back your power and use that in your fight to make sure that you retain that power and you can do what it is that you want to experience you know, in this moment.
Yes, and she reminds us by saying, I have my scars, you have
Yeah.
yours. Don't let them take your power. Don't leave it alone in the final hours. They'll take your soul, they'll take your power.
Yeah.
Unless, what, Bruce?
You save it unless you save that power. Yeah. You don't let it go. Like there is a part of you that And there's a lot of people that do sense that there's a part of us that we nurture and cultivate all our lives that we never let go of. That's who we are in that way. And that modifies and changes in certain ways, but there's a core part of it that I think always stays the same. And unless you save it, and that's that,
I love that. I love
you
that.
know?
That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very matter of
she's just
fact.
saying, and that's that.
Yeah.
Unless you stand up and take it back, try to see the future, get mad, it's slipping through your fingers. You don't have what you had. You don't have much time.
Yeah.
Just reminding us that life is on this planet in this physicality a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
And that find that part of you that is forever, that is that infinite love, that power, that, soul within you, because
Yeah.
it's forever.
It is forever. And you get to experience that forever because it is who you are. That is the deepest part of that. And that's
I
the
love how
urgency
she
here.
calls life a game because we've
Yeah,
heard
you
that
gotta
so many times
so many
before.
times. I was just gonna
You
say that.
gotta
You
get
gotta get
in the
in the game.
game. You
Yeah.
gotta learn how to play. You gotta make a change. You gotta do it today. In the midnight hour, they'll slam the door, make you forget what you were fighting for. Put you back in your place, they'll shut you down. You better learn how to fight. You better say it out loud.
Beautiful. And I love this, how it ends, because it's so poetic, but it's also what we've been talking about has, like really this is this inner reflection and to take back your power because sometimes we are that thing that slams the door. We are that things that makes ourselves forget what
Mm,
we were fighting for, what we were working towards, what we are doing. We
yeah.
are the ones that take ourselves out of the game, you know. And I love that. In this we can find that, you know. Um
And you can only change things by making a change. You
yes,
got to do it today.
you
If
do.
you we're back to we've spoken about him so many times before. um oh, Wayne Dyer, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So if you look at your scars as something beautiful, they will become beautiful. If you look at your scars as something powerful, they you'll find the power. If you look at your scars as something ugly, something harsh, something, dark and negative, that's what it will be.
That's what it will be. Yeah. And the 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 reasoning behind writing this song, I did find something about the lighthouse, and it is a call to arms. It is a call to action. It is a cry out to a population to pay attention to something and to make sure that that isn't lost. And there is a lot of that can be put behind this. And so, what I love about what we've been talking about, Donna, is that the true power within all of us comes from ourselves, within ourselves.
Mhm.
And when we, like everything that we've been talking about with this song, when we surrender that power to the things, our own doubts inside of us, or our own voice and our own shadows and all those scars and the things that we feel like have affected us so deeply, we also relinquish a power within ourselves to stand up to something that maybe isn't within ourselves. It's actually outside of ourselves because we believe in that thing outside of ourselves that other people are organizing against. And well, there you go. You have motivating, inspiring thing to go maybe fight against, in whatever way that Stevie Nicks might be referring to. However, truly it all starts with believing that you are the lighthouse and that you are
Mm-hmm.
the one that is capable of shining that light. And you are a beautiful soul. You are the thing that I remember, one of our friends used to say, you are the perfect creation. There
Yeah.
is nothing wrong with you, you
Yeah.
know? And so that is the part that, like, that's where I believe this is going, is not just for the reasons why that it was maybe written in that way. And I'll let, you guys find that out, because I love this way of talking about that, because this is where it begins to me. To be able to fight for what we believe in, we need to have our own belief in our and love in ourselves, and to have that ability not to hide, so that we can also be our own lighthouse, and that can take some work.
Oh, yes. And I love the way she ends it. You
Yes.
better say it out loud,
Yeah.
because I know it is my truth that words are wands.
Yes, they are.
We
Yes, they are.
speak our reality, our
We do.
creations.
Yeah.
So say it out loud. Be
Yes.
be the you that you were born to be in
Yes.
all of its beauty.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
use the phrase I am, because you
Yes.
are and you
Be the
deserve that.
lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Donna.
love it. Thank you, Bruce, and thank you, each and every one of you. It's been a beautiful day, discovering each other and going deep. We love to hear from you. Please leave us comments, likes, subscribes, whatever it is. And don't forget Lyrical Wisdom songs. We love you
Absolutely.
all. Thank you so much for being here with us on
Lyrical
Wisdom.